Hello, ActiveSage here on the Sage channel, and Keen Software House was nice enough to send me a early access copy of Medieval Engineers, their new game, which is very similar to Space Engineers, except for it's on a planet. You're going to have a bunch of resource gathering and other stuff, and one of the big things it has is the fact that structural integrity is now a thing, which means if you try to build a tower too high, it will collapse. Its own weight will just bring it down. So I'm going to go ahead today and just show you guys some of the amazing stuff in this game. And to do that, I'm just going to show you this little town I've built here. I call it a town, it's just sort of random structures. But the structural integrity, as I said, well, affects everything pretty much. So if I was to go ahead and left click here with a special little tool, I will actually be able to throw a boulder and take out a little something right there. And you see that's still managing to hold up, but if I go ahead and continue taking out its supports, eventually the building will come crumbling down. You can see I have an internal support on this structure too, so it's actually got a fair amount of stuff holding it up. But you can also see, look how beautifully what does collapse right now is collapsing. It's incredible. Now let's go ahead and hit that center. Oh, you can see how some of it presses down, it snaps and cracks, and the pieces pop upwards. It's actually amazing. There we go, you can see as the pressure presses down any second now, I think this tower is going to go. This tower is actually connected to another tower, so it's actually, yeah, oh boy. Yeah, you can see more and more of it starting to fall apart. Yeah, it's giving way now because all the pressure's there, and away it goes, and it's actually bringing down the other tower with it, because, as I said, these towers were all connected. How incredible is that? I mean, just look at all the rubble and the stuff there. It's incredible. Now, they have said that in the future, this rubble might change a little bit. It might not persist forever, because currently in this build of the game, it does persist forever. But no matter what they do, just seeing it right now is incredible. And you can even see that the top of the building actually survived its fall, because it had a lot of rubble below it, sort of catching it. But this building here, because it was the only thing holding up the top of that building, it eventually gave way and came crashing down as well. This little building over here, this tower, was the Stairwell Tower that allowed you to get up to the top. You can see it also took some damage as this building's weight was being transferred through its little bridge, and eventually it took some damage. It's still there, it's still standing up. If you were to throw a few more of these, you can see the pieces just breaking free. It works really well. It's amazing, actually, how well this works. I'm awestruck. There we go, and there we go. I took out enough support, and the whole thing comes crashing down. You see, as it hits the ground, parts of it broke because of their own weight. And then as it topples over, we might see some more cracking, yet and shattering. It's just amazing, really. And look how well it works. We're not seeing like massive frame drops. We're getting a little bit of slowdown, but be honest, look at all the physics stuff going on. It's amazing that it works at all. And the fact that it works perfectly is just incredible. Now this structure here, you might be saying, oh, that thing survived pretty well. If we were to look down at its base, you can see here that we actually have tons and tons of arches in there to hold this building up. So this one is actually the sturdiest one out of all of them. You can see now, though, its structurally integrity is a bit compromised now. I'm taking these out, and we might see it actually fall towards us now. Nope, looks like the weight is still on the other side well enough. Pretty damn impressive, though. I love the way these things just shatter and fall apart. I mean, it's really well done. Really quickly, let's go ahead and take out this last tower over here. You can see that one as the boulder or whatnot hit the far edge, it bounced off and hit another one. God, I love it. It's fantastic, really. Alrighty, so obviously I just reloaded. It was getting a bit laggy, and you know, that's not so great to see sometimes, but you can see how these were before. We're going to take out the same set of buildings again, just because they are pretty fantastical. And I think this time the way we're going to do it is we're going to add some weight to the top of it. So I have a block here, I'm just going to build these up like this. And instantly you can see that was too much weight on the wood there, and it just shattered, and then this tower comes crashing down and breaks into tons of little wonderful pieces. Oh, it brings down so much stuff. And look at that, you know, it just looks like something out of a battle. Looks like a map you'd see in a Lord of the Rings game or something. The way that it's just collapsed stairways and stuff. It's fantastic. I love it. It's just wonderful. Let's go ahead and do much the same again, except for this time we're going to put the weight out the side. And I suspect it'll either break right where we've added it, or because the weight will transfer down to the bottom, it'll crack the side off. Yep, right down there at the bottom, because the weight sticking out the side, it breaks down the base of it, and the whole thing comes crashing down. And you see as it impacts there, the whole thing shatters. It's really quite the incredible sight, and it looks... Is this whole tower wobbling? It might have had some instability way down at the bottom there. where it's actually done damage on the inside where we can't see it to its foundation. But it looks like it's actually staying up right now. This building over here, if we come around and look at it, you see where this one was connected as it fell and it pulled on this building to try to hold on where they were connected. It took out a whole section right here, and you can see just the beauty of it. It's something else to see, really, just how well this game works. That's the thing I'm most fascinated by, is just how perfectly it works. It falls the way you'd sort of expect. And it's also beautiful when it does come crashing down. This one here, let's go ahead and do something very similar. Except for, let's just go ahead on top. And you can place blocks inside of blocks. Right now you do that by holding Alt. And so let's just do a whole layer like this. And let's just add a few more layers of pure weight to the top of this. Yeah, there we go. And it sort of equally brought down the whole base. And as those support pillars came crashing down, you might have noticed that they dug into the actual bit of stone, layer of stone I had right on the ground, the foundations, and pushed their way through that. And that weight of that huge block I just put on top came crashing down the whole way. And I'm going to remind you, remember, this is a pre-alpha build. This isn't even an alpha. This isn't even ready for Steam Early Access quite yet. So that's why if you see Z fighting the flickering of things, that's why. They're going to be working on fixing a whole lot of stuff. This is super early in development, and it's already this stable and this awesome. It's fantastic. And I do have a few other little building things over here that I can just go ahead and show you. There's a few different materials currently, these wonderful little walls that are actually very, very weak. But of course, if I was to manage to bring down some of these walls crashing down onto other things, just the weight, or just the speed of them falling, they'd end up doing more damage. You can see there I had some supports that were under that little tower bit that I had sticking out. I took those out. That thing just fell apart. It is pretty damn awesome. And now, of course, as the smoke clears, you'll see that we have a nice opening into that building where we had a few rooms and stairwells connecting everything. The ability to place blocks inside of blocks in this game is just, it's something else. Because now you can just build a stairwell tower without having to have huge stone blocks around it. Just nice thin ones. It's fantastic. Okay, so reload it again. Before I go, I thought I'd go ahead and take out this big building here, which is actually a pretty empty building for to fly inside. You can see I had some issues where I put too much weight up top and it started falling apart on the doorway. But pretty awesome thing. It does mean when you're building your buildings, you have to be pretty cautious about how you're building them, or they will come crashing down. I ended up reloading this world a whole lot while building these things, because I wasn't thinking it through. Originally, it's these buildings here, as I tried to put up this stairwell here to the very top floor, it kept coming crashing down just because I didn't have enough support at the base for all the weight I was putting at the top. So that's why I ended up putting in all of these little supports in here. Pretty damn awesome stuff, though, once it's actually working. It's really cool. There's a learning curve to this. And remember, pre-alpha, everything is subject to change, but right now it's already fantastic just to mess around in. Now let's actually take this building out by downing it from the inside. So let's go ahead and take out all the walls around here. That's that wall pretty much spent. Let's go for that corner there. Any moment now, I suspect we'll start noticing some trouble. Oh, there we go. The floor actually broke. Oh my god. It's actually, that was actually momentarily terrifying as the building came crashing down towards me. And you see it actually seems to have found a resting spot here where it's no longer falling any farther. But from the outside, yeah, that was pretty damn incredible. It's a beautiful game. It's absolutely incredible. It is still in pre-alpha, so expect millions and millions of things to change, even before it's released on February 19th. Anyway guys, thanks a bunch for watching. I hope you found this entertaining. I'll be doing more videos on this game, pre-release and after release. And it's just something fantastic. And remember, everything is subject to change, so if I've said something here and it happens to be February 19th and you're playing and it's completely different, hey, pre-alpha world. But I'm pretty damn sure if they change anything, it's always going to be for the better. Like making some of these disappear after a while, that way your performance doesn't get impacted too heavily. Anyway guys, thanks a bunch for watching, and I shall see you next time. God, I love this stuff. Oh look, even something managed to hit this building and take out a wall. Yeah. God, it's beautiful.